why investigate the non-thermal mechanisms and effects of electromagnetic fields on living systems? The failure, this is a misprint, the failure of this theorem of impossibility. The IARC has classified the 50-60 Hz magnetic field and the electromagnetic field of microwaves as a possible carcinogenic, respectively in 2001 and 2011, on the basis of epidemiological evidences and with the support of several in vitro studies. For a more severe classification, we need to prove the biological plausibility of the carcinogenicity. An explanation of mechanisms of interaction between electromagnetic fields and living system. Or at least we need a confirmation of the causal relationship between exposure and the reproduction of effect in vivo. The biological plausibility is questioned by the paradigm adopted as a dogma that the only effects due to electromagnetic fields and to magnetic fields on living organisms are thermal effects. Despite of epidemiological evidences, it is impossible that a weak 50-60 magnetic field, as the one generated under high voltage power line, can induce an ion current in a cell. This is the theorem. The induced Lorentz force should be in the order of 10 to minus 21 Newton, while the Brownian force at the ordinary temperature is in the order of 10 to minus 14 Newton. Thus, there is a gap of 10 millions of newtons. Thus, no chemical reaction within a cell is due to such a Lorentz force, and no mutation is possible. That is the theorem that was explained by Robert Adair on 1992, published on Bioelectromagnetics, and was confirmed by Adair on 2006 on Bioelectromagnetics. It is a fairy tale. Protection against non-ionizing radiation is based on the assumption we know very well the interaction between electromagnetic fields and living organisms. It is a thermal interaction. Thus, the standards internationally accepted are adequate to protect people and workers. That is the statement of Dr. Van de Venter. She repeated at Santerre di Frequenza on 2007. The non-thermal effects of electromagnetic fields on living organisms have been well known since the 1970s, and the non-thermal mechanisms have been investigated too. But we are hearing the fairy tale again and again. The issue thermal-non-thermal is still open in the scientific world. With our monograph, we would like to give a good contribution thanks to data provided by several scientists joining ICEMS with their works from all over the world. The monograph cover, you can download it from www.icems.eu. The paradigm has been counter-exemplified by Giuliani in 1998. The Giuliani effect is the proof that we are able to use a current of ions in a electrolytic cell in an aqueous solution of amino acid that is an environment like in the inner of a cell, of a living cell. A living cell can be roughly approximated with a vessel where we have a solution, an aqueous solution of amino acid. And we can observe that when we apply a combination of direct current and alternate current magnetic field, a proper combination, we can induce a current, and a peak of current arises when we apply the magnetic field, the proper combination of a magnetic field. Thus, it is not true that a weak magnetic field is not able to induce a current as Robert Adair stated. It is very important because the statement of Robert Adair was accepted as a theorem and was the base for the assumption by the physical American society to state that no effect can be induced by magnetic field originated from high voltage power line. Thus we have a mechanism for extremely low frequencies, a mechanism of interaction between electromagnetic field and living systems. And it is a non-thermal effect, because the amplitude of this magnetic field, the magnetic field used by Giuliani, is only of 40 nanotesla for the alternate, for the variable magnetic field. And we have 40 microtesla for the static magnetic field, that is in the order of the geomagnetic field. Thus, when we have a superimposition of an alternate magnetic field in the range of some nanotesla to the geomagnetic field, we can observe a current in a aqueous solution, like in the cell, in a living cell. That is the counterexample to the theorem of Adair. Another counterexample is provided by the device set up by Bedruccio in Italy. It is a bioscanner, a radio device, able to send a radio wave in the band of microwaves, and able to detect the echo of this radio wave. Because cancerous cells show to have a electric polarizability different from the polarizability of the normal cells, there is a different absorption of the energy of the radio frequency when the radio frequency is addressed to the cancerous cell. And depending on this differential effect, the device is able to detect, to diagnose cancer in some tissue as a prosthetic tissue. This device is commonly used in Italian hospitals, also in university hospitals in Rome, and it is a non-thermal effect because the wave that is addressed to the target of a cancer tissue of the patient, the radio wave is in the order of some microwatt per square meter, a milliwatt, excuse me, per square meter. Thus we have an effect, non-thermal effect, for extremely low frequencies, that is the Giuliani effect, and we have another non-thermal effect for high frequencies, for microwaves, that is the effect provided by the device of Bedruccio, but it was studied early by Morse and Crick in the 20 years of the last century. The discussion about thermal, non-thermal is open because some author says that all is thermal. All effects are thermal because when you move an electron from an atom, ionizing an atom, you have a thermal effect. But from our point of view, we have to remember that thermal is related to temperature. Is a thermal effect, the effect which is able to change the temperature, and temperature is an average, is related to a system, and a system is not an atom. A system can be an organism, a body, or also a cell, but is a macroscopic set related to an atom. So we have to look at the changement of the temperature. Temperature is the average of the kinetic energy of all the particles that are belonging to a system. In the case of cell, of a body, in the case of human body, temperature is in the range of 36 Celsius degrees, and we can consider thermal effects only the effect that are able to modify this temperature for a tenth of degree, but the effects of Jardine, the effect of Morse Creek, used by Vedruccio for his device, are not able to change the degree of the temperature of a body. They can provide energy lower than one part on 100 of degree. Thus, we can consider this effect as non-thermal effects. So, we consider 0.001 degree when we consider a system like a cell. And we can state that the Jardine effect is not able to induce an increase of temperature in a cell more than 0.001 centigrade. Conclusion. Protection against non-ionizing radiation based on parameters adopted by international standards organizations seems not to be adequate, despite the statement of Dr. van der Enter. The failure of the theorem of impossibility implies that the biological plausibility should be included in the classification of the electromagnetic hazard. When we classify this agent as a possible or probable carcinogenic agent. The precautionary principle is commonly shared by several organizations. Also, ICEMS adopt precautionary principle, and we think that we have to consider the precautionary principle as a point to be taken in account when we evaluate, when we do the risk assessment of electromagnetic fields. Thank you.